Wearing gloves. The pitch is pretty wet after all the rain we've had. Tottenham's second corner. Taken to Hoddle. This is Arnott. And Kerr trying to find Rowell. McNabb. Oh, that was brilliant skill by McNabb, and he's through. And couldn't finish. And no wonder he holds his head, Neil McNabb, because there was an example. A corner's been given where the offside track was beaten by a player running through with the ball. He took them on, and in the end the shot was deflected for a corner. Duncan got up there. Now is Siddle, the Sunderland goalkeeper. Bolton. Rostron, off Holmes, Rostron again, on the far post, Entwistle and Kerr. Oh, Duncan got a bounce there, and what a fine shot! And John Duncan put Spurs in front. He made it look easy, but there was power and accuracy in that. Maybe the ball favoured Duncan on the first rebound, but as he ran on, he thumped it in. And a little bit of superstition working for Tottenham there, because in the dressing room just before the match, John Duncan agreed to swap shirts with Colin Lee. He said he would wear the number 9, because he always scores more goals when he's got that number on his back. And here in 8 minutes, he gives Spurs a valuable lead. Tottenham's first goal then in 4 matches. Gary Rowell, Entwistle. Greenwood. Still Greenwood. And John Pratt did well there to put Bobby Kerr off on the post. Greenwood, who made the opening for Sunderland. It was Pratt's tackle on Rostron. Well, Terry Naylor doing the safest thing amid that confusion. And Sunderland comes straight back, searching for the equaliser before Tottenham can settle on the lead. Jackie Ashurst is up there, number 6. Greenwood's header on. Rostron. Referee has given offside there, I suspect. It's a player standing on the 6-yard line. Mistake with the kick, and Greenwood is onside and had to go the long way round, and Perryman against the bar, away by Osgood. High drama in the Tottenham goal mouth, but it wouldn't go in. It was a poor clearance by Danes. Greenwood had a chance, he tried to go round the goalkeeper, and when he finally got the ball back in, there was a moment when it was up there by the crossbar with Perryman, and in the end it was scrambled away. The long ball from Hoddle is played perfectly for Peter Taylor. Duncan has pulled away at the far post, and well saved by Siddle. It was an ambitious ball by Arnott, but he could see Entwistle closing in on the blind side of the defence. It was worth a try. Glenn Hoddle's made a good start here. Ashurst to Henderson. This is Kerr. Oh, a shot by Rostron, well saved by Danes. Sunderland had men to spare in the centre there as Kerr's cross came in, and you can see the argument going on among the Tottenham players as to who should have been marking who. It's Gary Rowell on the far side to Arnott. Rowell again. It was a good save from Barry Daines, because when Bobby Kerr pulled the ball back there, it was a good cross to the forwards waiting to run onto it. Rostron got the shot in hard and low, and Daines, who's been very consistent this season, was equal to it. McNabb. That looked to be a push in the back by Jeff Clark on John Duncan. Lee came in there at the near post. Good ball from Arnott to Kerr. Greenwood's made a run on this side. This is Henderson. That was really well worked. An end whistle coming in at the far post. Must have thought it was in, but Barry Daines now has made two outstanding saves. Mick Henderson with the cross, end whistle coming in, did the right thing, but Daines turning the head around. Ashurst had a penalty, is it? Yes. Foul by Leon Ashurst. Referee Ken Walmsley had a good view of that. Tottenham will protest because it's the sort of technical offence that defenders get away with week in, week out. But as the corner came over, Chucky Ashurst, I thought, was impeded, number 6. And Sunderland now have a chance to equalise from the penalty spot with Gary Rowell. Gary Rowell taking the kick because Ashurst has missed 2 this season. It's 1-1. Roker Park relieved and ready to rejoice. Naylor for Spurs, and what a game we've got here now. Greenwood. On by Duncan. This is an interesting test now for Tottenham, to have had the lead pulled back in that fashion. Their character will now be examined by a Sunderland side who are being inspired by this tremendous crowd. That was a foul by Hoddle. This match has got some feel to it now. You can sense what's at stake between these two famous clubs. Both knowing that there's no divine right about promotion from the second division, and both knowing there are many, many battles to be fought between now and the end of the season if they're to be in the top 3. So a free kick to Sunderland. They've got a line of 4 waiting inside the penalty area. End whistle. Rostron. Greenwood. And again. Perryman was in the way. Oh, that looked to be high by McNabb. That looked high by Neil McNabb, and the reaction of the Sunderland player confirms that view. Things have been getting a little bit out of hand the last 2 or 3 minutes. And the referee has shown the yellow card to Neil McNabb because that was, it seemed from here anyway, a high challenge with the stud showing. It's going to come to Arnott. That's the Roker end of the ground, the crowd well packed there. Don't need cover today because the weather has stayed dry. Half an hour gone, Sunderland 1, Tottenham 1. John Pratt. Holmes. Pratt's gone down, seems to have hurt his hip, and Sunderland break away with Rostron. Spurs are stretched rather here. Entwistle. Oh, and Daines couldn't hold it on, not tried to get there. Greenwood, and Daines finally performing heroics in the scramble. Rostron using his arms right round the neck. Those are the sort of fouls that tend to irritate forwards so much. It was a forward that perpetrated that on Peter Taylor, because Rostron was using his arms first round Taylor's body, then round his neck, and the referee, seeing it that way, puts Wilf Rostron in the book. Jimmy Holmes. That's going to be a corner given away by Entwistle, and the linesman flagging because Bobby Kerr said something to him, I suspect, there about the decision, and he wants to tell the referee what was said, and that could mean trouble for Kerr. Gets away with a warning. McNabb, nice play. Duncan, oh, he should have scored, and he knows it. A golden chance there for Spurs to get back in front. McNabb got round the back beautifully, the defence was nowhere, and Duncan put it wide. McNabb, Perryman, Naylor. And the whistle goes for half-time, and the applause speaks for itself, because there was a passion and a sting to that first half, which said everything, if it needs saying again, about how competitive life is in the second division this season. Spurs, with Duncan scoring, took the lead, and Sunderland equalised with a penalty, and Barry Daines' goalkeeping prevented them from going in front. Jerry Armstrong, the Tottenham substitute, is on at the start of the second half in place of Jimmy Holmes, who missed last week's match through injury and was hurt again during the first half today. So Spurs start the second half, playing now from the left. For anybody watching in black and white, Spurs are playing in all yellow today. And there's Jerry Armstrong's first touch, back to Glenn Hoddle. Armstrong again, driven right across, and neither Duncan nor Lee could make contact, but Jerry Armstrong comes on and makes an immediate impression up front. Looks to me as though Tottenham have switched John Pratt from midfield to left back to replace Jimmy Holmes. And it may be that Peter Taylor will fall back into Pratt's midfield position. It was Entwistle who was fouled by Osgood. Henderson with the kick. Not really away, Arnott's shot was blocked. Here he is again. Jeff Clark. Offside, are they? Apparently not. And it was Entwistle just past the post, as Spurs looked for a flag which never came. Hoddle. And it's Hoddle again. It's got Armstrong down the right, number 12. Look at the way he lofted that over Bolton. The offside flag may take away the delicacy of Hoddle's little scoop. And there's some crowd trouble in the corner of the ground at the Roker end. Maybe that those people have spilled over because of trouble from behind. And the referee is sensibly delaying, or he's got to delay the start of the match because they're on the pitch. Well, it was a white horse that sorted out the problems at Wembley many years ago, and there's a mounted constable trying to get people back into order. And so with the pitch cleared for the moment anyway, the game can restart. Play on. Naylor up with Rostron. Acrobatics from Perryman. Turned in by Arnott. Entwistle got it on. Bolton is there. And a fine save again by Daines. The ricochet off the goalkeeper, who threw himself at the feet of Joe Bolton. And this crowd of nearly 32,000, the best of the season at Roker Park, trying to play their part in getting Sunderland in front for the first time. It was a good punch from Daines. Steve Perryman's made the break, and it's 1 against 1 for a moment. He's got 2 to his left, and to his right is Hoddle. Well, the referee going right across because he saw that challenge by Joe Bolton, and that's going to be punished. The ball had gone, and Bolton followed through on the Tottenham player on the ground. And it was Perryman too who'd made that break from Tottenham out of defence, which ends in a free kick. Taken by Hoddle. Good work on the far side by Ashurst. Ball's out of play though. Lee again into the path of Hoddle, but it wouldn't run for him. Perryman now in defence. Been given to Tottenham. Lee turning nicely away from Clark. He's got Duncan in the centre on the near post, in fact, and there it is! And John Duncan gets his second. And for the second time in the match, he puts Tottenham ahead. It may have looked a simple goal, but it was beautifully worked. Colin Lee, the two players congratulating each other. Colin Lee on the right, playing the perfect near-post ball, and Duncan supplying the perfect finish. Duncan's 12th goal of the season. And Spurs have deserved it. The goal came in the 72nd minute, and it's the climax of a spell of Tottenham pressure which has been building up. Oh, and Lee might get through again here. And I think Duncan, to his left, was well placed again, but Lee went for the spectacular. Jimmy Holmes in the centre on the Tottenham bench, having changed after coming off at half-time. Rowell quickly to Kerr. And Duncan this time using his head in his own penalty area. And Sunderland want to make a substitution. That's Sean Elliott coming on. And it's Kevin Arnott who's going off. Oh, Naylor on the post. Rostron. Oh, this is Clark. Oh, he shaved the post. Jeff Clark, who, according to my records, has never scored a goal in league football, either for Sunderland or for his previous club, Manchester City, but he wasn't far away then. And there it is. Throughout football, they'll look at their papers tonight and say what a good result for Tottenham, and that's exactly what it is. Achieved with 2 goals by number 9, John Duncan, and some fine team play elsewhere. Sunderland threatened in the first half when they were thwarted more than once by Danes. But once John Duncan got Tottenham back in front in the second half, the points were only going one way, and Spurs maintained their promotion challenge, while Sunderland have still got an awful lot to do to get up there in the top 3.
Who grabs his chance? And the story is completed in the second leg at White Hart Lane. Spurs make heavy weather of a tie against Dundalk in the next round, 2-1 on aggregate. And it was a laboured performance against Eintracht Frankfurt of West Germany in the next round for almost an hour. In the second leg in Frankfurt, Glenn Hoddle is the hero.
Spurs went behind after only 3 minutes. A neat 1-2 between Nachtwey and Borcher, Clemens completely exposed, and it's Borcher who finishes well. But worse was to follow, just 15 minutes gone, and Tottenham looked on the way out. Eintracht attacking on the left, the ball takes a lucky deflection, but Burkinshaw is completely unmarked, and the South Korean takes full advantage. After that, Ray Clemens kept his side in the game with several brilliant saves, and then with extra time looming, Glenn Hoddle got the crucial goal. Good work on the left by Chris Hughton and Ricky Villa, and Hoddle's finishing was to be perfect. So Spurs through to the semi-finals, and great relief for manager Keith Burkinshaw.
Now it's Barcelona, the match they were to call a bloodbath. The night when one reporter will say the crowd saw no football match, it was a kicking contest. And for poor Ray Clemens, so long a model of consistency and an inspiration, it's a nightmare. It was his first mistake in months, says manager Burkinshaw.
Alessanco with the kick for Barcelona. Straight to Hoddle. Carrasco. Olmo! Oh, what an error by Ray Clements. Disaster. Olmo for Barcelona. You wouldn't wish that on a goalkeeper at any time, at any level of football, and it's happened to one of the best in the world. Ray Clements won't want to remember that. Olmo lined the shot up from way out, and poor Ray Clements. Hazard and Simonsen. Perryman. Foul by Morataya, the number 12, booked. And Crooks reacts, and the referee in the middle of it again. It's like a street fight out there now. There are players pushing each other and remonstrating and having these little verbal tussles like the one between Alessanco and Roberts there. Morataya was the player booked, number 12. In again by Hoddle, and Jones arriving, and that's a goal. Graham Roberts coming in at the back to equalise for Spurs. Roberts the scorer. Hoddle chipping it in. Jones arrived first, and Roberts came in behind him. Spurs have equalised with 5 minutes to go.
The lights go out in the second leg in Barcelona due to a power failure, and Spurs go out too. Now Spurs are in Europe again in 82-83. A Glenn Hoddle penalty beats Queen's Park Rangers in the FA Cup final at Wembley.
Roberts, like a battleship charging through there. Oh, and he's going all the way. Roberts is brought down, and it has to be a penalty, no doubt. Roberts went through, and although Rangers are complaining, never the slightest doubt. And it's Tony Curry, the skipper, who brings him down, and Glenn Hoddle, who puts the ball on the spot. Well, Hoddle has scored 14 times this season, 5 of them from the penalty spot, and he's put Spurs into the lead. 6 minutes gone, Hoddle the penalty, Spurs 1-0. Up to receive the cup from His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent. And so Spurs have done it again.
Coleraine in Northern Ireland go out in the first round 7-0 on aggregate. Now it's a mighty clash with Bayern Munich, with Perryman, Hoddle, Roberts, Houghton and Galvin all missing from this first leg at White Hart Lane.
Promising start by Tottenham, which has kept the crowd at the buzz right from the start. On by Lacey, and it's in by Archibald. Goal in 3 minutes for Tottenham. You can't ask for a better start than that. Grover watching Archibald now. Lacey is up once again. Brooks try off the underside of the crossbar. What a marvellous shot by Brook. Offside against Garth Crooks. That really was a very sweet strike of the ball. Skew by Riley, Rummenigge underneath it. So it's Hennis, missed his kick, Breitner did not. And Bayern capitalise on the error. A few arguments between young O'Reilly and one or two of the other defenders, notably Ray Clements, it would seem. Martin. Beautifully played by Dremler. Hennis on the far post. Oh, I say. And Rummenigge only a ball's width away.
Falco, Mabbott, Crooks, that's a good turn! And a beautiful save. Really a great save. Crooks got up wondering whether the penalty was going to be given. But the referee never had any intention. Here's Brook. That's not a bad try! And Crooks! And the goalkeeper denied him! And Brook cannot believe it. Now Dremner. Rummenigge for support. And Hoeneß. Here's Rummenigge. Oh, I say, the man is fallible.
In the second leg, even a swirling Bavarian fog can't hide the fact that Spurs are out for another.
Dalglish with a corner. Ronnie Whelan's up in the box, making a run towards the near post. In fact, got the header in. Wasn't far away either. And Spurs simply failed to pick him up. And could have paid the highest price. Crooks. And now it's Mark Lawrence for Liverpool. Oh, hits it straight at Ardiles, but followed through quickly before Ardiles had a chance to bring it under control. A slip by Perryman, but he readjusted quickly enough, and Hoddle tries to get Archibald through behind the Liverpool defence. Archibald all the way! Spurs in the lead, 11 minutes gone. A clumsy sort of goal, but Archibald's persistence paid off. The bounce really went his way. Played there. Lawrenson, it bounced back off Archibald. Suddenly he was through, and just a little nick with the outside of his right boot as Grobbelaar came out. Miller. Long ball towards Garth Crooks. Both he and Hazard had gone for it. It was won quite easily by Thompson, who got in a good defensive header there. And it sets Liverpool on their way again. Dalglish twisting and turning, finding Souness, who looks to be in quite commanding form in the midfield for Liverpool this afternoon. Neil finding McDermott. Neil again, time to cross it in. That's Dalglish. Oh, a lovely piece of play by Dalglish! And saved on the line by Clements when Sammy Lee went in. And Liverpool, a knock on the leg for a former teammate, but Liverpool came so close to getting the equaliser there. Kennedy. Into time, added on for stoppages at the end of the first half. Kennedy going on his way, finding Lee on the far side. And a free kick given against Steve Perryman, and the challenge there on Sammy Lee. And there'll just about be time to take it, I would think. And Lee has taken it from the wrong place. So now with Whelan. A little chip in there towards Dalglish. And in the end, it's Lawrenson who hits it way over the top. Archibald. Hoddle. Good ball played in there for Hazard. Crooks. Hazard again. Archibald again. Hazard again. Good play by Tottenham. And it brought Grobbelaar to his knees. Thompson versus Archibald. Here's Kennedy. Miller backpedaling, could only head the ball to Dalglish, who turns it on to McDermott, onto the volley maybe, and pushed away well by Ray Clements. Just a fleeting mistake there in the Tottenham defence. In the end, Clements saved well and caught well. Well, it was a lovely little ball there, played by McDermott, by Dalglish rather, and McDermott hitting it on the half volley. There was the save. It's desperate for him now. Look at the anxious faces and the squirming backsides on that bench. Here's Hoddle. Now Hoddle. Great save. And a chance for Archibald, knocked away by Souness. Great shot by Hoddle. Knocked Souness, to the agony of Spurs, gets it away. Souness slapping his wrist and telling the referee to add time on for a bit of time wasting. Galvin getting a cross in. Thompson away. Dalglish right back. In spite of the attentions of Ardila, still finds his man. And here's Rush. Played inside again for Whelan, the two youngsters in this Liverpool side. Finding Johnson on the far side, the substitute, who's hardly had a touch since he came on. Dalglish couldn't get to it, but he might get to this. Villa going in there, using his shoulder. Johnson playing it in. Whelan! And Liverpool bring it to All Square. Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Neil. Liverpool really got their bit between the teeth now. Johnson, but Ardiles is back there. A minute remaining. Here's Crooks. Should be a little bit of time to add on for stoppages. And who knows, Liverpool might have it in their minds to win it without extra time. As Rush goes through, saved by Clements at the second attempt. Great strike on goal by Rush. And a fine piece of acrobatics by Clements. There, and just as important there. Price. Souness. Lee. Oh, what a good ball in for Dalglish. Went fluttering in behind that Spurs defence so well. A very, very difficult ball to take on the volley. Hit in with good weight, in fact, by Sammy Lee. And suddenly there was Dalglish, and they have to be hit perfectly to register. Ricky Villa. Still with Villa. Well, it was at that end in the FA Cup final when he scored the goal that finally finished off Manchester City. Villa. Getting up quickly, Liverpool, and continuing to get back quickly at the slightest hint of danger. When Crooks was going forward, then 2, 4, 6, 7 men plus the goalkeeper were back behind the ball. It says a lot for them at this stage of a long and strenuous season that their stamina has held up as well as this. But when the chance to go forward is there, they pound forward in numbers. And when the danger is there at the other end, they're back to guard their goal in those same numbers. But at the moment, they've got everybody back except Rush, as Ardiles finds Perriman with this free kick. Archibald, Ardiles, and now Crooks, pushed away beautifully by Grobbelaar. First real strike on goal I think we've seen from Garth Crooks today. And he hit it well. Grobbelaar reacted superbly. Here's Kemp. Now, Thompson. Very often is at this stage of the game, because the players have become so weary that mistakes tend to creep into the game a little more. Now, here's Dalglish on the turn, and Clements just grabbing it before Rush could get in. And his little throw sending Perriman free. It's with Hoddle. Good pass by Hoddle, finding Perriman again, but Liverpool's throw. Whelan ducking there to get it to Kennedy trying in turn to put Dalglish in behind them. Well, that was Ardiles' mistake, and it's Rush. And now it's Dalglish. He's onside. Is this the decisive moment? He's played for Whelan, and he's done it again. That's astonishing. The first time he's ever played at Wembley, and he's got 2 of the goals. Ronnie Whelan. So Spurs, after holding a lead until 3 minutes from the end of normal time, are now in desperate danger of losing the League Cup final. So Ardiles' mistake is pounced on. Dalglish now just onside, looks up, plays it back for Whelan, who was begging for it at that point, into the roof of the net. It's got to be something pretty dramatic now, and who knows? Perhaps Spurs can yet pull out something pretty dramatic as Villa. No, it falls for Sammy Lee. And what about that for a ball? Inviting Ian Rush to make a charge, to take it round Price, to play it for David Johnson. Stopped by Clements, but it's not away yet. Rush! 3-1. Scored goals all season, 22 of them, puts the seal on it for Liverpool in extra time, and now there's no coming back for Tottenham. He played the ball unselfishly there towards Johnson, and was there waiting for the return, which eventually came.
So a corner to Spurs, with Chris Hughton supporting. Feyenoord have pulled plenty back. This is Hoddle. That's a fine ball, and here's Hughton, and a chance in the middle for Archibald, who's having this rich vein of form, Steve Archibald, and he was on hand there. A good goal worked by Tottenham, and Hoddle's pass bisecting the defence. It put Hughton in behind them, and Archibald got ahead of those 2 defenders, Nielsen and Trost. Looks rather as though the Dutch plan for Cruyff to mark Hoddle in midfield is misfiring somewhat. Hoddle appears to have the edge early on. He played the 1-2 there with Archibald and got it back. There are 4 waiting in the centre here for Tottenham, and that's Galvin! And it's 2-0 after 19 minutes. Tony Galvin this time. But again, the instigator was Glenn Hoddle. He saw the situation here, played the return with Steve Archibald, got in behind them once again, and there was plenty for him to aim at in the centre. Goalkeeper may have hesitated slightly, but Galvin, frankly, was unmarked, and it's 2-0. Mabbott, Hoddle again. And again, he's forcing them to back off. And Falco's in there, turning Doots. Good save by the goalkeeper. Falco again. Can Mabbott squeeze it back? He can, to Archibald. 3-0. And 2 for Archibald. And Feyenoord pulled apart once again. Hoddle so anxious to take over, so keen to eclipse Cruyff tonight. That's a fine ball, and Galvin's through again, and it's 4. After 41 minutes, the Spurs fans see Hoddle lay on another goal. He's had a hand in all 4, and that was a perfect through pass. The man-to-man marking system destroyed, and Tony Galvin going through to finish. Certainly in the second half, the Dutch have improved, and Spurs have faded quite notably. Some 15 minutes to go. Vermeulen seeing plenty of the ball now, the number 11, and Ben Wijnstekers, the captain, joining the attack from left back. This is Cruyff, looking for a 1-2 with Doot. It's Cruyff again, and a chance, and he scores. Typical Cruyff. Just when you think he's out of the match, he's still got something to offer at the age of 36, and this was the best move that Feyenoord have put together. Wijnstekers coming forward. Cruyff was in the inside left position, and memories here of his great days. Quick pass and return, and as he goes across Gary Stevens, the shot beats Clements. 4-1. Feyenoord here perhaps fancying their chances of another away goal. They're certainly creating more openings now, and Roberts forced to concede the corner. It was Doot who'd come through. And with about 8 minutes to go, Tottenham so much on top earlier, beginning to look anxious. There, Moylan with the corner with his left foot. And Mabbutt shoved a bit, perhaps. That's Nielsen, and it's in! 4-2 now.
Splendid example with that picture of Spurs' new master, Glenn Hoddle, against Europe's old master, Johan Cruyff. And then off to Rotterdam.
Van Til, Tottenham with almost everybody back. Chance for a shot from Van Til. Brilliant save by Clements. Well, he may be in pain, but my word, he did well there to push that shot from Van Til just round the post. It's a brilliant shot, but what a save. And off goes Glenn Hoddle. He'll be hoping to do something about increasing it. Lovely pass, superbly weighted. And he's found Archibald. Steve Perryman in a lot of space. Hoddle touching it through. Newton. Chris Newton has put Tottenham in front on the night. A superbly engineered move by Tottenham and finished off in style by Chris Newton. Perryman with room, finding Hoddle, lovely touch through, and Newton took his time, past the goalkeeper, and Tottenham are ahead on the night, and now are 3 goals in front overall. It's Gullit. Looking to combine with Hoekstra. Here's Hoekstra now. Cruyff's in the middle. Second chance. Yeliaskov. Touched over the bar by Ray Clements. Yeliaskov so close then to an equaliser. It's Hoekstra's cross in. Good combination. Yeliaskov and then Clements over the bar. Cut out by a combination of Cruyff and Gullit. Away goes Cruyff. And Nielsen Rob. And Mabbutt now sending Falco away. Archibald calling for it in the middle. Don't think it quite got a touch. And Archibald might feel perhaps that he should have pulled that one back. A flick on from Yeliaskov. Certainly hundreds of supporters streaming out of the ground now, the Feyenoord supporters. Rather dismayed at their team's performance. It's Mabbutt with a good ball finding Galvin. Could this be number 2? It is. What a marvellous piece of finishing by Tony Galvin. As the Feyenoord fans stream out of the ground, many of them will have missed that superb ball played through them by Mabbutt, splitting the defence wide open. Off goes Galvin, who got 2 goals in the first leg, and he's got another one tonight.
As the headline says, Spurs showed real class. And now a chance to avenge that defeat of last season against Bayern Munich. 1-0 to Bayern, Spurs down but not out. And Keith Burkinshaw believes Spurs can do the job at White Hart Lane. The Germans, though, seem convinced that 1 goal will be enough. What a night in prospect.
Foul then on Cook. Hoddle organising the free kick with Steve Perryman. Two players who've played a fair bit of European football over the years. Hoddle will take this kick. Roberts at the far post, almost left. Indeed, he got it, the header. Archibald! It's got it! The goal stands. Archibald and Roberts. Certainly deflected in. And Tottenham are back on level terms. Hoddle's long floated free kick. Roberts climbing at the far post. Archibald, and the shot going in off back. Off goes Lerbu. This could be dangerous. Rummenigge. Dremler again on the overlap with space. Time and time again now, Dremler is finding himself with too much room, I would think, for Tottenham's liking down the Bayern right flank. Lerbu then with the corner. Flick back across the goal and away by O'Reilly. It's Michael Rummenigge at the near post. And O'Reilly, who headed it away for a corner. Sternberger with the kick. Lugler's the player inside the 6-yard box. That was Michael Rummenigge. Not too far away either. Already showing many of the signs that he's going to follow in his brother's footsteps. He's played 10 minutes of a full international already. Here he is climbing for the header. Rummenigge. Combination with Dremler. Still Rummenigge. Brilliantly saved by Clements. Rummenigge really let fly with that one. That right foot of his is so lethal. Clements did well to get behind him. You can see the tenacity of Rummenigge there. Clements equal to it. Tottenham have always tried to construct their moves from the back. Too often tonight as Ray Clements punted the ball hopefully upfield. Roberts was giving it to Kraus. Hoddles, chip through, Falco! And it's gone in off the post! Mark Falco has done it. 4 minutes to go, and Mark Falco has given Tottenham the lead overall. 2-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. Hoddle with that intelligent ball through, and Falco hitting the post for the second time tonight.
As even the Times is to say, Tottenham's glory days return. And now Austria-Vienna in the next round. And now Steve Archibald is the hero.
Looked like a push by Nilashi, and the referee has given it. Really haven't seen too much of the Hungarian international. Steve Perryman to take. Roberts won it. Hazard, nice control, and Archibald. Goal number 23 of the season for Steve Archibald. Important jump by Graham Roberts. And some lovely control by Mickey Hazard. Archibald on the spot. Stevens. Well, that's neatly done. Not a bad try. Off the crossbar. Consilia seemed to see the first shot late. And the opportunity was there for Archibald to get a second, and he knows it better than anybody else. It's a good run by Stevens, right inside Magyar. The goalkeeper had his weight on the wrong foot. Stevens, much more confident, Stevens, and indeed the whole Tottenham side since they went in front. Perryman. Touch from Ali Dick, it's a bit tight, this is Brazil. Oh, and it's gone all the way! Tottenham had 2 men over, and the eyes of Brazil say a lot. How much did he know about it? It was a question of just putting the boot in, I think. Hasn't scored since December, so I'm sure he'll claim it. Who got the final touch? But it doesn't matter to Tottenham. Roberts been involved in most of the best things for Tottenham. This is not untypical. What a good run. Dick with the time to look up, didn't make much use of it. Roberts again. Hoddle, amazing stop by Consilia. Still Hoddle. Prohaska, and they're all waiting to get rid of it. Handball surely. No, it won't count.
And little Ozzy Ardiles, struggling for so long against injury, turns up trumps in a thrilling second leg. It's not the happiest season for Spurs apart from Europe, and now the players learn that Keith Burkinshaw is leaving at the end of that season. They are determined to give him a European triumph to take with him. But it's a tough semi-final assignment against Hajduk Split, with the first leg in Yugoslavia. Well, that bizarre penalty means Spurs need a solitary goal at White Hart Lane to reach the final, and Mickey Hazard saw that they got it.
Graham Roberts is forward. Galvin to take it. Swinging in towards Paul Miller. Peels for handball. Number 4, Ivan Gudeli. Protesting about the decision, but it's been given. Perryman and Hazard, the Tottenham players, round the ball. Miller and Roberts are both forward. And Hazard goes for goal. Oh, yes! Spurs in front. Nick Hazard. Worked so hard to get him fit, and look how he proved how worthwhile it was, all that treatment. He found the corner of the net from the free kick, and he's gone straight off down the dressing room as though he's got a problem. And whatever the advantages of the early goal for Tottenham, this tie by no means over. And Prakazi hit that. Oh, and Tony Parks, goodness me, and Vujovic on him. And Tottenham with their hearts in their mouths there. And Tony Parks with the ball in his hands at the end, but oh dear me, only just. Prakazi hit it, and Parks lost it. Up against the bar it went, and he grabbed it on its way down, but only just. Thomas. Archibald wants it played long. Falco, and Archibald surely! Ah, Simovic saves very well from his point of view. Here's Galvin. It's a good cross, and again the goalkeeper. Keith Burkinshaw on the bench knows how close it is now. We're in stoppage time, and there it is in his last season. He sees Spurs go to their 4th cup final in 4 years.
It's a final against Anderlecht of Belgium, the first leg in Brussels, and more it's becoming a crusade for Keith Burkinshaw. His reign about to end after 8 honourable years, and now every Spurs fan and player praying that it will end in triumph. Here in Brussels, Spurs set the foundation for that triumph. So Steve Perryman banned from the second leg of that final, but now we're set for a night that can stand alongside all those great glories of the past. Shades of Gornik, Slovan Bratislava, that first cup triumph in Rotterdam, and the rest. The stadium is packed. Magnificent night with an unforgettable climax, and right at the end, an improbable goalkeeping hero.
Roberts finding Houghton. But Schifo getting back with a foul and a free kick awarded Tottenham's way. Hazard. Galvin. That cross coming in again towards Archibald. Just wide. Well, in the moment, you glimpse two things: why the Anderlecht side were worried about Galvin, and how it is that Archibald has scored 28 times this season. A lovely little flick, and just a fraction wide. Slightly nervy opening. You can almost hear those nerves twanging out there at the moment. Nobody really wanting to make a mistake. And a chance coming up now, and this Potts can get there. Did well to stop Cherniatinsky. Houghton finds Falco again, but the pass wasn't good enough to allow Galvin to go running on. Hazard. For Falco, it might run for him. And the shot is straight at Muneron. Thomas. Crowd enjoyed that. Got the better of the counter and found Falco. And Thomas collected it well again. Abbots, Stevens, Falco. Crowd are willing Spurs to come forward and do something in that Anderlecht penalty area. Well, they've got a free kick, a chance to pop the ball in there now. So Muneron might have some work to do as Mike Hazard, number 7, behind this free kick. Floated in there towards Stevens and towards Mabbott. And just wide. Again, they're worrying with crosses and that sort of ball coming into their penalty area. And he just lost control. There was no foul. And Arneson is onside. This could be a big problem, but it isn't. Abbott, that long throw towards Roberts, and Roberts there too, and in the end Muneron gets there. The feet were high, and I think it was Gary Stevens, and a bit of pushing and shoving, and Archibald involved and Morten Olsen involved, and the referee needs to sort it out, and he'll sort it out with a yellow card to Gary Stevens for the assault on the goalkeeper, presumably in the first place. There he is, Keith Burkinshaw. Clements just beyond him. Muneron. The counter. Morten Olsen. He's the man that could be so dangerous, making the extra man. And they scored! Cherniatinsky! What a blow for Tottenham. A tremendous break for Anderlecht. And the sweeper, Morten Olsen, the man they said was going to be the dangerous fellow, the sweeper came forward. A perfect pass for Cherniatinsky. And beyond, Tony Parks, and Spurs are behind. Roberts. Oh, just wide from Galvin. And Ardiles is coming on for Tottenham, and Paul Miller is going off. Good Johnson's on for Anderlecht, and Arneson is off, and a tremendous roar as Osvaldo Ardiles comes on. Galvin, Hazard, Falco, or rather Galvin now. Obstruction, free kick. Well, can Spurs do it? 10 minutes remaining. Ardiles placing the ball, Hazard behind it. Big men up from the back again. It's going to be little Ozzy Ardiles who takes that free kick. Floated there. And the keeper grabbed it at the feet of Roberts when it looked as though Archibald might just get a touch. I think for a moment that may have even fooled the keeper. Stevens. Ardiles. Falco. It might come for Galvin. It'll come for Hazard. And now it'll come for Archibald onside. Oh, a tremendous save from a great shot by Archibald. A brilliant piece of keeping, but a superb piece of finishing by the Scot as well. It looked as though he'd lost a chance for a moment, as Spurs now aim to take the corner. Will they get it home? Falco! And it might come for Ardiles! Oh, he's hit the crossbar! Oh, my word! Almost the storybook return there for Ardiles, and he's hit the crossbar. Roberts! He's done it! 1-1! Sight, and what a sound, and Roberts, the captain, has made it 1-1 for Spurs. After Ardiles had hit the crossbar, Anderlecht breathed again and thought they'd got it away. There are only 6 minutes left. Back it comes again, and suddenly, stumbling through with a beautiful touch at the finish, Graham Roberts has made it 1-1. That's the whistle for the end of 90 minutes. And still, we don't know who's going to win this UEFA Cup final. 1-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. Everybody up from the back. Hit long and hard towards Galvin. And Tony Galvin. A little chip back in there again towards Archibald. Is he going to be there? No, Stevens couldn't get the touch that mattered either. And they just couldn't force it home. Thomas, though, trying to get round Morten Olsen. Up and down off that bench, you can imagine the agonies they're going through. Referee's looking at linesman and at watch. Whistle is in the mouth. That's the end of extra time. And ladies and gentlemen, we now have penalties. Well, Roberts, who has scored once, will now want to give a captain's example. Graham Roberts against Jackie Munaron. And he has scored. So that's great relief for him. Now, forward comes Morten Olsen. Can he beat Parks? Saved it! What a moment, and a moment for him. Now, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Mark Falco now. What a psychological boost if he can now put one past Munaron. Now Falco. Score! 2-0. It's Brewer to take it. He scored. 2-1 to Tottenham. Gary Stevens now. Score! 3-1. Enzo Chiffon. That's how big the goal is. But I tell you, to Schifo, it'll look about half that size, and Parks will look double his size. Now, can he do it? Yes, he can. As cool as you like. 3-2. Now, Archibald against Munaron. What value for money tonight? Dare not miss. And he has it. Now, Frankie Verkouteren, the captain of Anderlecht. Looking to make it 4-3, and it'll mean, well, let's not worry about what it'll mean for the moment. Let's see whether he can score and whether Parks can save. So, 4-3. And Danny Thomas, if he scores, no! And they're dancing for joy in the Anderlecht camp. And it's 4-3. Maybe Tony Parks will pull off another save. Good Johnson from Iceland is the man taking it. And he saved it! Spurs have won it! Tony Parks is the hero! good sporting moment there for Morten Olsen to congratulate the Spurs manager. Tony Parks with 2 penalty saves. What a moment! A big cup, a beautiful smile, and Spurs have won the UEFA Cup.
Peter